thank you very much for joining us here for a very special evening. This is one of my most favorite evenings in the year, and that's because we get to tell the stories of men and women who combine their passion with purpose to deliver significant impact. A lot of the winners that you will see here today will also represent India on a global stage. And I think it's a recognition of the fact that a lot of our previous winners and our past winners here have in fact been recognized at the World Economic Forum globally as well. We have one of them sitting amongst us today, Chetna Gallasena, who was in fact one of the women who was part of the World Economic Forum as a co-chair last year. So thank you very much for taking the India story forward, Ms. Gallan, and congratulations once again to the entire team at Mandeshi for what they do. The Schwab Foundation and the Jubilant Bharatiya Foundation have partnered for almost a decade now, but I'm proud to say that CNBC TV18 has been associated with the World Economic Forum Social Entrepreneur Award since its inception here in India, which goes back to almost 15 years, if not longer. And we've been putting together the stories of these wonderful entrepreneurs because at the end of the day, as we heard in our previous panel as well, creating livelihoods, creating meaning, creating impact is what is going to change India. It's not just going to be about market capitalization. It is going to be about focusing on how we can create a much more inclusive and diverse society. And each of our entrepreneurs represented through the course of the years in this program have been able to deliver on that promise. So without further ado, let me introduce you to our first finalist this evening. Rangde, founded by Smita Ram and Ramakrishna NK, founded in 2008. It's been facilitating peer-to-peer lending before P2P became a buzzword. And the bedrock on which Smita and Ram have built this platform over the years is dignity. For the receiver, the money she gets to set up a small business or send her daughter to school is not charity. And for the lender, people like you and me who give to the cause, Rangde has created a virtuous cycle of engagement that goes beyond just transferring money into an account. Rangde in the last 10 years has facilitated the disbursement of over 70 crore rupees. So let's take a look at the Rangde story.
Hi, I'm Smita Ram, co-founder and managing trustee of Rangde.org. When we started, we were just trying to address one simple problem. We felt that if microcredit had to make a difference to people's lives, then it needed to be provided at a rate that people can actually afford it. Back then, even though there was a lot of microfinance, we realized that the interest rates that were being charged in the space was exorbitant. And we felt that somehow this does not make sense because it was supposed to be a product that was actually meant for the poor. So it was with that simple idea that we started Rangde. We also felt that there were individuals like ourselves, well-meaning individuals who wanted to give back, were looking at different ways and avenues of making a difference. So what Rangde essentially does is marries the two aspects. One, the problem of no access to credit to people, and on the other hand, the individuals who wanted to give back to the society. So we do this through an internet-based platform and enable individuals like ourselves to contribute to people who need access to loans.
So the way we go about reaching out to the communities is to find partners who have a very high ethical fiber and who also enjoy a lot of social trust within these communities. So give an example, we work with an organization called SVYM in Mysore. What they did was to form self-help groups of the street vendor community in the city of Mysore. Encourage them to save in these self-help groups, and then after a year of saving, they connected us with Rangde. So from 5% to 10% per day, when they started taking Rangde loans, they started paying 10% per annum. We also, give another example, we work with the waste picker community in Bangalore city. Our partners enable our community members to choose how much they want to borrow, when they want to borrow, and for how long they want to borrow. This is something which is very unique and which has been a core part of our offering.
Founded in 2008 by Smita Ram and Ramakrishna in Bengaluru, Rangde is India's first peer-to-peer lending platform before P2P lending came into vogue. And while technology has been a great enabler, the team believes what sets the platform apart is its approach to lending.
Kind of people we have reached out to in the last 10 years are typically first-time borrowers, individuals who have been denied credit from not just the financial institutions but even from traditional microfinance institutions. And what we have been able to do is deliver credit with a lot of dignity and something that makes sure that people's self-respect is held intact. And what does this mean for somebody like Mamta, who we have been supporting for the last 1.5 years, has also now been able to access credit digitally, and this has been possible only because of our financial literacy programs. We believe that once people know what they can actually do with this and what it means to responsibly borrow, only then it can actually make a difference. So Mamta has been able to take a loan from us. Now she's accessing her bank account more regularly. She's building her own credit history, and tomorrow our hope is that she can actually borrow from any bank just like me and you can do. And then an alternative like Rangde may no longer be required because she is truly financially included.
Having disbursed over 70 crore rupees in microloans from 14,000 social investors to benefit 60,000 families, Rangde believes that the core infrastructure they've built over the years has not only held them in good stead but also set them up for faster growth now.
Over the years, we have done several innovations, including customized loans. So we started off with loans only for livelihoods, but then started loans for education. Even within livelihoods, there are around 800 different activities we have funded, and each of this activity has a customized loan product. And I think we are able to do this and offer, credit at interest rates that are affordable only because of our technology.
The Digital India and all the technologies and the supporting technologies, including the entire India stack, is a very welcome and a very integral part of moving towards a more financially included India, because now thanks to Aadhaar and thanks to the other infrastructure, a woman in a village can now identify herself using her biometrics, access banking services, access government welfare schemes. So what we have done at Rangde is we've built a whole new platform called Swabhiman, which is a step towards ensuring that the communities, especially rural communities, will now be able to not just get onto the digital bandwagon, but also know what it means to open a bank account, to save money in a bank account. And the way we've gone about doing this is to focus on financial literacy and also applying behavioral science to it to ensure that there is a visible and a more sustainable behavior change for the communities.
And the team has observed over the years an equally important behavioral change which has taken place on part of the lender community. The Rangde team likes to call them its community of social investors.
People found it really hard to believe that a model like this can work. But then we realized with our social investors that, even though they start off thinking that this is just charity or donation, when the first repayment actually comes into their account, that's when they start to realize that, oh wow, this model actually works. And that is actually the beginning of their engagement with Rangde. Once the money comes back, they are actually prompted to reinvest this in other borrowers and communities. So it's very different from a charity-based model because it's very empowering for everybody.
As per its model, lenders can choose a borrower, be it a farmer, a tailor or a student, and contribute to his or her needs in part or full in multiples of 100 rupees. The borrower then pays back the amount within a fixed time at an interest rate ranging between 6 and 10%. Rangde retains up to 2% for internal expenses, and around 40% of its expenses are paid off from that amount. The rest of the operational expenses are met with grant-based funding. Internal studies at Rangde have revealed that even small loans of a few thousand rupees can result in a 70% increase in the borrower's income and a 108% increase in savings.